In the darkest corners of horror history, one name has endured, striking fear into the hearts of moviegoers for over 4 decades. Michael Myers, the silent shape of pure evil, keeps coming back, leaving a trail of screams in his wake. But what if I told you that the terror might soon invade your living room? That's right, we're diving deep into the chilling evolution of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, with an electrifying twist that could change everything. Could this iconic slasher make his mark on the small screen? Is a TV series the next horrifying chapter in his blood-soaked saga? Prepare yourself as we journey through the decades, exploring the evolution of the boogeyman himself, while unraveling the spine-tingling possibilities of a TV series that could redefine terror. You won't want to blink. The nightmare begins now. Let's rewind the clock to 1978, a year that would forever change the face of horror cinema. Halloween came onto the scene. This wasn't just a movie, it was the birth of an icon, Michael Myers. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the creative minds behind Halloween, gave us a simple yet terrifying premise: a masked killer stalking a small town on Halloween night. Interestingly, the iconic mask that Michael wears is actually a William Shatner mask painted white, a choice made due to budget constraints. Michael Myers almost never speaks, adding to his unsettling and mysterious nature. The film was shot in South Pasadena, California, where the real Myers house has since become a pilgrimage site for fans. Shot on a modest budget of $300,000, the film was a gamble. But oh, did it pay off, grossing $70 million worldwide. It didn't just rake in the cash, it became a cultural touchstone, setting the stage for slasher films for decades. So, how do you follow up a game changer? With Halloween 2 in 1981, of course. The sequel picks up right where the first left off, with Laurie Strode in the hospital and Michael Myers still on the loose. The stakes were higher, the budget was bigger, and Michael was more relentless than ever. This time, Carpenter and Hill delved into the backstory, revealing that Laurie is actually Michael's sister. The film expanded the Halloween universe and gave depth to its characters, making it more than just a one-hit wonder. Now let's talk about the odd one out, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch from 1982. This installment took a sharp turn, ditching Michael Myers entirely. Instead, it focused on a plot involving killer Halloween masks and a twisted plan to sacrifice children. This is the only film in the series that doesn't feature Michael Myers. It attempted to take the franchise in a different direction with an entirely new storyline. While it was a commercial failure compared to its predecessors, it has since gained a cult following. The film was an ambitious attempt to turn the franchise into an anthology series, each movie telling a different Halloween-themed story. As we move on to explore the rest of the franchise, remember, Michael Myers is far from done, and his legacy continues to haunt us to this day. 6 years after the anthology experiment of Halloween 3, Michael Myers made a triumphant return in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The title itself was a promise to fans. The boogeyman was back. This film brought back the familiar setting of Haddonfield and introduced us to Jamie Lloyd, Laurie Strode's daughter. With Laurie presumed dead, Jamie becomes the new target. It was a commercial success and breathed new life into a franchise that had been dormant. It also added a layer of complexity to Michael Myers, hinting at a deeper, almost supernatural connection with his family. Just a year later, in 1989, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers hit the screens. This installment picked up immediately where the fourth left off. Michael Myers was not only alive, but also angrier and more vengeful. The film delves into the psychic connection between Jamie and Michael, a plot point that would be further explored in later films. Dominique Othenin-Guerard, the director, took some risks, including introducing a mysterious man in black, whose identity would not be revealed until the next film. While the movie was met with mixed reviews, it was crucial in setting the stage for the complex narrative arcs that would follow in the franchise. Fast forward to 1995, and we arrive at Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Tommy Doyle, the young boy Laurie Strode babysits in the first film, returned as an adult character, played by Paul Rudd. This installment sought to explain Michael Myers' evil through the introduction of a cult. The Curse of Thorn, as it's known, is a druidic spell that compels Michael to kill his family in order to save civilization. While this supernatural angle was divisive among fans, it was a bold move to deepen the lore. The film also introduced us to a grown-up Tommy Doyle, a character from the original movie, further connecting the dots in the Halloween universe. 3 years later, in 1998, the franchise took another significant turn with Halloween H20. 20 years later, Jamie Lee Curtis reprised her role as Laurie Strode, now living under a new identity. This film decided to ignore all the sequels after the second installment, offering a clean slate. It also helped establish the final girl concept, a classic horror trope. Laurie is now a head mistress of a private school, but Michael Myers finds her, leading to a showdown 2 decades in the making. The film was a hit, both critically and commercially, and it revitalized interest in the franchise by bringing back its original Scream Queen. These 2 films, each unique in its approach, added new dimensions to the Michael Myers character and the overarching narrative, ensuring the franchise's continued relevance and evolution. In 2002, the franchise took a modern twist with Halloween Resurrection, directed by Rick Rosenthal, who also directed Halloween 2. This installment embraced the reality TV craze of the early 2000s. The methods and creativity behind Michael's kills have evolved throughout the series, from simple stabbings to more elaborate and gruesome deaths. The film places a group of young people in the Myers house as part of a live-streamed event. Little did they know, Michael Myers is home, and he's not happy about the intrusion. While the film didn't win over critics, it did bring the franchise into the new millennium by incorporating contemporary themes like internet fame and voyeurism. 5 years later, Rob Zombie took the helm, rebooting the franchise with Halloween in 2007. This wasn't just a remake, it was a reimagining that had a significant influence on other horror films and characters, such as Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th and Ghostface from Scream. Zombie delved into Michael Myers' troubled childhood, offering a psychological angle that the original never explored. The film was darker, bloodier, and more brutal, aligning with Zombie's signature style. While it divided fans, it was a box office success and introduced a new generation to the terror of Michael Myers. Not one to leave things unfinished, Zombie returned with Halloween 2 in 2009. This sequel continued the story, following Laurie Strode as she grapples with the trauma of her previous encounter with Michael. The film further explored the psychological damage inflicted by Michael Myers, not just on his victims, but also on himself. It was a deep dive into the mind of a killer, wrapped in Zombie's distinct, visceral style. While not as commercially successful as its predecessor, it cemented Zombie's unique stamp on the franchise. Rob Zombie's entries stand as polarizing yet unforgettable chapters in the Halloween saga, offering a grittier, more complex take on the terror that is Michael Myers. Fast forward to 2018, and we have Halloween. This film took the bold step of ignoring all the sequels, serving as a direct follow-up to the original 1978 movie. Nick Castle reprised his role briefly, and the mask underwent subtle changes, leading to speculation and discussions among fans. Jamie Lee Curtis returns as Laurie Strode, now a grandmother haunted by her past. The film explores the long-term effects of trauma while delivering the scares that fans crave. It was a critical and commercial hit, proving that even 40 years later, Michael Myers still has the power to terrify audiences. Halloween Kills picks up immediately where its predecessor left off, with Michael Myers emerging from a burning house. This installment takes a community approach, involving the residents of Haddonfield as a vigilante mob. It's not just Laurie Strode's fight anymore, it's the whole town's. This evolution adds a layer of complexity, turning the film into a commentary on collective trauma and mob mentality. The film also explores the idea of evil lurking in small, quiet suburbs, a trope that the original Halloween helped establish. The film serves as a brutal middle chapter, escalating the violence and broadening the scope. It sets the stage for the trilogy's conclusion, proving that the terror of Michael Myers can still evolve and grip new generations. Halloween Ends serves as the concluding chapter of the new trilogy, and it's the 13th film in the franchise. This installment aims to bring closure to the long-standing battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. The film takes the evolution of Michael Myers full circle, revisiting themes of family and trauma while introducing new elements to keep audiences engaged. It's not just about the scares, it's about the emotional weight carried by characters who have been tormented for decades. Halloween Ends seeks to be a fitting end to a saga that has terrified audiences for over 4 decades, showing that while the franchise has evolved in numerous ways, the core terror of Michael Myers remains as potent as ever. The story of Michael Myers isn't over yet. Recent reports indicate that Miramax is actively shopping the rights to the Halloween franchise, sparking a massive bidding war. This opens up a realm of possibilities for the franchise's future. Not only are film projects being considered, but the iconic character of Michael Myers could also make his way to TV. What's clear is that the franchise is at a crossroads, with everything on the table. It's an exciting time for fans, as new stories and formats could bring fresh takes on the enduring terror that is Michael Myers. Until next time, stay in the shadows and keep those lights on. And while the future of the franchise remains uncertain, remember, the nightmare never truly ends.